Hello, everyone. This is another iteration on the card-based dungeon delve I've been working on. Up until now, I've been concentrating on just using it as part of a fantasy war game where armies are moving around the terrain and they encounter dungeons or abandoned castles, and they go into them looking for treasure, and they face a lot of dangers and they lose men in the process. But this is an iteration that I'm calling Dungeon Raiders, which is intended to be more of a party-based situation. So what I've done here is I've drawn 4 cards. These are my party. The values of the cards have two two reasons. One of them is they represent the health of the particular party members, and the other is they represent any of a variety of abilities which could be used to either collect treasure or overcome the challenges in the dungeon. So, and we'll get into the mechanics of that as we go through. I've already laid out the first turn. I've already set the clock and our first turn of that first hour. And so we're going to get underway. So our explore card here is a 4. Our challenge is it's a heart, it's a jack. The heart means it's a creature. The creature, you either have to lose health fighting it, or you have to take turns either strategizing, or in this case, since I kind of consider anything a 10 or higher to be an intelligent creature, so they could be simply negotiating with the creature to overcome it. But we don't have enough, we haven't gained enough information from our exploring yet to overcome this challenge. So we either have to go straight at it, lose the health, or we have to lose a number of turns equal to the value of the card. In this case, that would be 11 turns, which would be almost 2 hours. So since it's early in the day, I'm going to do that. We take our time, we negotiate with this beast. Say it's a bugbear of some kind, maybe. So we're going to go from 8 o'clock, the first turn of 8 o'clock, to the 6th turn of 9 o'clock. And we've overcome that challenge. So slide that over to our discards, and we see what kind of treasure we have available. It's a mundane treasure, which could mean it's any kind of a material item. It's not a magical item, basically. We've got enough explore points that we've kind of figured out where it is and how to get to it. So we can burn that explore card and collect our treasure over here. And moving the cords out of the way. And then we move on to our next turn. So now we are to the first turn of 10 o'clock. So this challenge, it's a diamond, it's a magical trap. It can only be used by health. We could use the explore card to essentially bypass the challenge. Now, under the Dungeon Raiders concept, they're going to have to clear all the challenges to get out. So they either clear the challenge on the way in, or they can bypass it and on the way out. And it's going to take a turn to deal with every challenge on the way out. So it's only a 4, so we're going to take that damage. We'll take it on the 5 over here. That'll reduce that party member to 1 point of health. But they're still a 5 in terms of their skills. And this treasure it's an ace. We don't have enough exploration points, enough experience in this dungeon to collect the treasure. We could do an amount of time equal to that value, but that would be over 2 hours collecting that treasure. But what we have here is we have the King of Clubs. And if a party member is the same suit of a challenge or a treasure, it counts as one more. So a king is one below an ace. So we can simply expend that skill, and that's the only time we can use that skill, and we collect that treasure. But it saves us time, and you're balancing time, your health, and the resources that you have based on your party cards, and also your treasure, because your treasure can now be used to overcome challenges or collect other treasures. Although collecting treasure for treasure, if you're just going, if you're going to a mundane treasure for a magical item, that might be worth it. But otherwise, it's a break-even situation. So we'll go on to the next turn. Alright, so our challenge is a club. It's a mundane trap. Mundane trap, it's either health or turns, just like with a creature. This is classic Indiana Jones situation. Boulder coming down after you, darts, pit trap. We have enough explore cards that we could just bypass that challenge, or we could take our time with it, or we could burn some of the hit points off of one of these kings, since we have some high hit point characters here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bypass it. That way we can see how that works on the way out. So that treasure is still going to remain to be hidden until we clear that challenge. And we'll move on to the next section of the dungeon. So we've got a magic trap, and we don't have enough explore points because we spent them all bypassing that last one. This would be pure health. Or we can use our king to simply overcome it. Could be a wizard with some sort of magical knowledge is able to disarm that trap. And it's a 2. We'll just take the 2 turns to collect it and save our explore points and our skills for something else. And we just continue on this way. So now we have Queen of Spades. Spade is a structure. It's a structure challenge. It could be anything from a jammed door, something that's swollen that you're going to force your way through, to a collapsed wall. So another option we have with Dungeon Raiders is using treasure to overcome challenges. So we could use this ace, to overcome this queen. And that comes up with a jack, and a jack is worth 11. We spend our explore points, we collect our treasures. And so that's basically it. You would go through the whole deck that way, and once you worked your way to the end of the deck, you'd work your way back up. And any bypass challenges like this you would have to overcome. You would advance the clock a turn, showing the time you spend doing that challenge. That's 10 clubs. You could just take the damage on, say, the king. That would reduce him to 3. And that uncovers that treasure. That's a queen. You could use your skills of both of these guys to recover that treasure. And once you've been through the whole deck and you've gotten out, overcoming all the challenges along the way, and collecting the treasures, or you could bypass the treasures if you just want to try to get out of the dungeon as quickly as possible. And at the end, you've got your treasures that could be used as simply as a score to see how well you did, combined with how close your characters were to death. Or if you've got a fantasy RPG of some kind, you could have fun rolling on some tables, using these as a bonus of some sort, and seeing what kind of treasure you came up with. Just a fun little mini game to simulate delving through a dungeon. Take you 10 or 15 minutes to run through once you get set up. And it'll be available on my itch page. You can see the links below. If you enjoyed this, give me a like or subscribe. Thank you.